Hi beautiful souls. You guys say I'm trying something different with my hair. It's not working. I don't know what to do. So we're just gonna deal with it as it is. So today I wanted to talk about my 7-year experience with my ex. And I'll explain why there was quotations around that. It's a very long story. So let's see if we can get in about 10 minutes. So in 2010, I met my ex, we'll call him David. We were sitting at a lunch table, flirting a little bit without it being, we were subtly flirting, I would say. And I mean, I thought he was the cutest thing, the bad boy type, had his ears gauged or whatever it's called. Like, he had plugs in his ear, he wore trip pants, and I mean, he was just the thing. And for me, apparently, you know, a 16, almost 17-year-old being in 9th grade was hot to me. I don't know. Don't ask me. I was not in my right mind when I was 16, 17. And he became my white knight in shining armor because he got me away from an abusive ex. So my whole mind was just around David. Oh my God, what is he doing? Can I get with him? Like, we're gonna do this right now. And the whole thing was mainly sex. That is like the main thing we were about. And my little mind tricked me into thinking he cared about me. And again, this was 2010 while we were in high school. I would say a junior / senior because I had a lot of problems with school. And he was a freshman still. He was a freshman at 16, almost 17. And he apparently met my brother first, but then he met me, and my brother told him, do not go after my sister. I will not be your friend. You better never go after my sister. Of course, we went behind my brother's back most of the time, about 5 years of it, I would say. And my brother's not stupid. He knew. I mean, come on, he knew. So we hung out all the time, sex, random places, and then, I mean, I would break up with boyfriends whenever he showed the littlest interest in me. I would break up with boyfriends and get with him, even though we never officially dated, apparently, according to him. And at one point when I was with someone, he manipulated me back by saying that he loved me, knowing that would reel me back in because I was starting to get over him. He reeled me back in by telling me he loved me. I was 17 at this point. And I mean, I hung out with him whenever I could, whenever he came over to our house. If my brother was asleep or in another room, we would sneak into another room and have sex. I mean, that was all I knew of how he cared about me. That's how I thought he cared about me. And whenever we could, we would sneak off and go. And just do it. I mean, I was never a big drinker, so I was somewhat sober during all this. I really was. And so in 2012, we moved from my hometown, which is where I met David. We moved from my hometown to San Antonio. And so we had kind of quit talking because I was with someone at that point. And he was like, oh, I don't want to do this if you're talking to someone and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, no, come back. Like, I want you. I need you. And he's like, no. And then he wound up when we were still in Waco, he wound up having a baby. Baby mama didn't like me because, I mean, apparently she was still in love with him or something. I don't know. Not my business. But she hated my guts. She hated me. Okay, whatever. He was like 17. She was 20 something. I think like 25 or something. I don't know. I don't know the details. It's not my story. So he was wrapped up in that when I had moved to San Antonio. And I got with someone that I used to live in Amarillo. So I got with him. Oh, I feel so stupid. When we moved from the house that was in San Antonio, we moved to another house in San Antonio. San Antonio, I think. I'm not completely sure. Northwest San Antonio, I believe. And he would randomly pop in. Hi, how are you doing? I missed you. And so he would come down. Whenever he came down to visit, he wound up living with us for a while. For like weeks to months, he lived with us. And of course, we went right back to the same habit, always sneaking around. And he got to the point, he would not touch me unless he was drunk. And it messed with my head quite a bit, but it was still, okay, this is David. I'm in love with him. It's been so many years already. And I think at this point, we're like 4 years into talking on and off. And so 4 years or so into this, the whole on and off. Again, this was my knight in shining armor. He got me away from the abusive ex, so I thought nothing bad of him. Even though he had cheated on me, all this other stuff, never claimed me. Would say that we were together to me, but everybody else, we were not together. It was nothing. So he would get drunk and then he was all about me. Hey babe, how are you? Come here babe, let me love you, and blah blah blah. And then sober, nope. He was all about my brother, hanging out with my brother because that was his best friend. And I was left in the dust until the next time he got drunk. And then he had started experimenting with acid. So whenever he was not sober was when he would come to me. And I thought, you know, that meant he cared. I was so insecure of myself. I thought that meant he cared. He didn't. Obviously, he did not. So the last little bit of it, like in one of my videos, I said how I went down to my hometown to see him and never got to see him. And this was right around the time my pop had died, and I told him, I need you here right now. And he just conveniently wasn't able to get a ride to come to the funeral where I needed him at that point in time. And it broke my heart. And I was just like, you know what, whatever. I'm done, whatever. And of course he would come back, visit, and then leave several months later. And I mean, he lived with me. He would go back and forth. And the problem with this dude is he did not get his way. Trigger warning. If he did not get his way, he would mutilate himself. I mean, this dude has a smiley face on his stomach because he didn't get his way. And at one point, he tried to kill himself by stabbing himself in the brachial artery. He missed it, but I was the one that had to deal with him bleeding, gushing blood, having to take him to the hospital to get stitched up, take him back home. And then my sister-in-law, before the age of 18, she had to deal with this because, of course, this was my brother's best friend. So she had to deal with him slicing himself open, all this stuff. It was ridiculous, like completely ridiculous. And it traumatized both me and her. It really did. And then I just got to the point, okay, I'm not dealing with this no more. So, like I said, and how I met how I got with my husband, I wound up having a miscarriage with him because at this point he was telling me we were engaged, but he didn't want it to be official until he was able to get me a ring. And I told him, I don't care if you make it out of copper wire, like that's fine with me. So to me, we were engaged. To everybody else, including my brother, mainly my brother, it was all up in my head. I had no idea what I was talking about. We were never like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Screw you, dude. I wound up having my miscarriage right after we moved back to my hometown from San Antonio. I could not get a hold of this dude for over a week. He claims he forgot his charger. Okay, you were somewhere where other people have chargers. Sorry, I get heated up about this. How could you not get a hold of me? I've called you. I left you messages. You talked to my brother. My brother knew this was going down. And he cared more than you did. And this was your child. And he just disappeared for a week. Okay, whatever, dude. And I wrote him so many notes. He came to visit me, and rose-colored glasses came on until the minute he left. And my husband, who was just a friend at that point, we went over there, and I explained this in a whole nother video, how we went over there and I just wound up talking to him and kind of vented a little bit, and he came right over the house and has never left. We've been together since. But it's just, with David, I can never forgive him. For one, how he has treated my brother. He had turned around when I was still talking to him, or no, he had just gotten back home to our hometown, and he turned around and messaged my now sister-in-law while my brother was with her, trying to get with her. I was like, you have lost your damn mind. Hell no. I saw the messages and everything. At this point, I did not like my sister-in-law. We had problems because of this dude running his mouth, spreading lies. So we wound up not liking each other, and I was excluded from all activities my brother was doing. And I wanted to be best friends with my brother, like how we kind of are now. I wanted that back then. I wanted to get to know my now sister-in-law. I didn't have that opportunity because David decided to go and lie, saying that we were saying all this stuff and threatening her and calling her all this shit. We weren't doing any of it. And so it wound up getting to the point where I almost fought my now sister-in-law, or I tried to beat her because of everything he was saying. Like, that was just ridiculous. Do not get to that point. That is so stupid. And he just an alcoholic, just straight alcoholic. After the miscarriage, I was like, you know what, I'm done. He blocked me on everything, social media, number. He doesn't even have my new number or anything, so he blocked me on everything. I blocked him on everything. I'm like, I ain't dealing with this. Deuces. So that is my experience with my ex, because I do the quotations because to me, we were together. He told me we were together. We were engaged. I was planning our wedding. No, everybody else, never happened. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. This never happened. Forget you ever met me. Forget we were ever a thing. Forget we ever hooked up. Forget me. Forget my family. Nothing to do with you. None of us have anything to do with him anymore because of his actions. And I'm just like, we good. We done. Don't ever contact me. Do not ever say hi to anything. I found out through my sister-in-law that he is now married to someone he called a stalker for the longest time, which I know they'll never see this, so I don't really care. Every time we were together and she was blowing him up and calling him, he would decline everything because that was his stalker. He wanted nothing to do with her. All she was doing was stalking him, using his mother to get to him, blah, blah, blah. He now married said stalker, is now having a baby with said stalker, because she's about the only one that could put up with him cheating and going behind her back and doing all this crap. Do what you gotta do. I ain't dealing with that one no more. I got a handsome man. I got someone that loves me, for me, will in public claim me, married me, had children with me voluntarily. I'm good. It's just this thing always gets me so heated thinking about him, because it's like, why would you treat someone like that had your back through everything, that was there for you whenever you missed your kid that you never took care of, whenever something happened, you got too drunk, I was the one taking care of you when you were puking drunk. I was there. Nobody else really was. I was the one taking care of you, and you threw me in the dirt and treated me like crap. Thank you. Honestly, thank you, David. Thank you. Because if it wasn't for you, I would not have given my husband a chance. If it wasn't for you, I would not have my 2 beautiful children I have now, and I would not have the life I have now. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being a piece of dirt. Thank you. Okay, I'm done ranting for a minute, so we'll see y'all next time. So please like and subscribe. If you have any tips for me, it'd be greatly appreciated. And any ideas for videos you want me to do, let me know. So